Hello, guys. The John About Nothing podcast, at least back to back Sundays. Who knows? We've turned a new leaf now, guys. So we're hoping to be more consistent and giving you guys the content. Polish, the best place to start is because I live in Nigeria. You get there's no light. So there was no light. I just woke up by 5 a.m. when they brought the light. And I saw my Bleacher Report notification come up and it says AD Luka Dončić traded for AD. I was like, this Bleacher Report sometimes safe. I don't even understand these people. What's going on here? I said, okay, let me enter Twitter. Shams, where is Shams Charania, the NBA guru? I saw Shams' account. As soon as I get into Twitter like this, the first tweet I came across was from an NBA player saying, I wish sure Shams has not been hacked because what do you mean by the Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Dončić? I wish your Shams has not been hacked or something. I saw Patrick Mahomes' tweet that said, I feel sick right now. What's going on? I think the biggest surprise, because according to all the NBA insiders, Chris Haynes, Shams, and co, the biggest surprise has to be the fact that the Dallas Mavericks didn't say, because we've seen trades before. We've seen the Anthony Davis trade when he wanted to leave New Orleans, where he announced, he demanded a trade. Then the Celtics, we started hearing stuff from his agents via the media saying that, oh, if you're not the Lakers, don't trade for him. He's only going to be a 1-year renter. Don't do it. Do you get? We start hearing stuff. The Jimmy Butler one too. We demanded for trade. It's not a big deal. But the idea that the Dallas Mavericks picked up the phone, called a team initially, and those ones were like, "We're not interested." Then called the Lakers and said, "Oh, we want to trade for AD. We'll give you Luka Dončić." And those ones were like, hold on first. Let's check if this call is not a prank. We'll get back to you in a second, but hold on." And came back and said, "Okay, we'll do this deal." There has to be, because we've been hearing reports of they are concerned about his weight, his focus, his injury commitments. Is eligible, was supposed to be eligible for the 345 Supermax deal at the end
This
of
summer.
this season. Yeah, it's at the end of this season. And now you're wondering the best way to describe it, like someone said it, the Dallas Mavericks suddenly woke up and they hate Luka Dončić, because there's no better way to describe this.
So there are multiple layers to this. What's called the shock value of the trade. Because if you asked anybody before this trade, who they should list the top 3 players that the team will never trade. I think I think we cannot agree that Luka would have been number one on
Number one,
everybody's list in terms of the player that no one would trade. Because the question would always be, if you trade Luka, who are you getting back? That's going to be the first question, because the value of Luka is you have a young player who has been all NBA 5 times out of the 6 seasons he's been in the NBA, who has gone to the conference championship and recently went to the NBA finals, and who is a prolific double guy. He will give you 25 points, 10 assists, at least 8 rebounds. So you are looking at a guy who there were conversations around if the only person that can catch LeBron's 40,000 is Luka LD. Because Luka started early and is putting up the kind of numbers that if he's LD for, let's say, 18 seasons, the way LeBron is LD for 22, he's the only person that people feel like, oh, with his skill set can catch LeBron. So that means he's a generation talent. Then so if you go beyond the shock value of the trade, you now start to think the injury he has this season and the injuries he had last season. I think there were conversations that they were soft tissue injuries, and soft tissue injuries are avoidable. They are avoidable based on your preparation, regimen, training, and how you prepare yourself. There are some injuries that you cannot avoid that happen, Achilles, snaps, something happened to your knee during contact. There are some injuries that there's nothing you can do about it. While you are playing, it happens. But there are injuries that you can avoid based on how you are ready for the season. For example, people said that if Brandon Ayuk was in training camp, preparing himself, repping himself, and he
yeah, I
got
think
into the team,
that.
that injury he had probably doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
I think there's a conversation that has been going on with the Mavericks, not just this season, probably for seasons, maybe last season or 2 years ago, where they're having conversations around this guy with his weight, with his lack of commitment to nutrition and training, with his what's it called, with his lifestyle, that there's a possibility that if his career might be cut short. that you might not get 10 years or 15 or 12 years from him based on the way he's living his life. And he has been playing basketball since the age of 16,
15 or
14
so.
with Madrid. So there's a possibility that he himself gone personally, he's not even thinking past the age of 32, 33. See Hazard now. Hazard looked at everything and he was like, nah, I'm good. And if you look at Hazard, it's not like Hazard just suddenly did not know how to play football. He just became big. You see him when we saw him in Madrid. Hazard was literally bigger than me. He was with pot belly, and he was a professional footballer at that point. So you knew that he was already tired. It looks like he was not interested in the different procedures or things to keep himself in shape to make sure he was ready to play. So I think. So this is me thinking. I have obviously no information, no idea of what is going on. But I think there are some conversations they've had with the medical staff. You know, all the science. They've done some predictions, and what they come to the conclusion is that Luka might not give them the kind of longevity they want. And if they give someone like that a 5-year, 345 million deal in the summer, if you are going to give someone that deal, it has to be someone that is always available, as proficient as Luka, ready to play defense, and you can trust that continuously they'll give it, because that will cap your how much or you can put around the person. If you pay someone 345 million for 5 years, that's about 60 something million, about
69
65,
million, yeah.
65 million per, almost 70 million per year.
9 million per year, yeah.
Exactly. So I think they looked at that was part of their decision making, and then they looked at what they had on their squad and how can so the what the staff probably thought is, okay, how can we make sure that this season we still compete so that the fans are kind of they get some kind of consolation, so that maybe this season, next season, the fans are not as brutal on the management as they would be. And they looked at, okay, if we get Anthony Davis wants to play for, we have multiple big men, the Gafford and Lively. We have PJ Washington that can play the wing position, Clay, Kyrie at the point guard, and AD. That's a very LD starting five that, you know, they can really do something.
Let me interrupt you there, Bullish, before you go on, because if you look at it on paper, I'll come to Lemage as a Lakers fan in a minute. The Lakers have won 6 out of 7. Before they even won last night, despite the fact that AD was missing. But AD played an instrumental role in the Lakers being good. And as of last week, when he spoke to Shams, he said, we feel like we're a center away, he wants to play the 4 if you can get a center, blah, blah. But the conversation around the Lakers was trying to get maybe Miles Turner or Walker Kessler from Utah. So AD goes to the 4 and is good enough. But if you look at it, because I genuinely believe that the Dallas Mavericks got better. And why do I mean by they got better?
For the now.
Defensively, yes, now. They got better in the other side, because defensively, yes, we've mentioned. Look, I don't even want to go into the injuries or not, because it still led the team to the NBA finals. But defensively, Luka is not going to guard anybody. We know that. But if you have a healthy Kyrie, you have Anthony Davis, you have Daniel Gafford and Blake Lively at the 5. Both of them play center.
Derek Lively.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm Derek Lively, sorry, at the 5 with Daniel Gafford. Then you have AD playing the 4 and a healthy Kyrie. Then Klay Thompson is on that roster. And you also picked up Max Christie, who was averaging 14 points since he became a starter for the Lakers.
You still have, what's the name of this guy they brought from New York? They have a couple of wing defenders.
Spencer Dinwiddie and the likes.
Yeah.
So if, to me, the way I see the Dallas Mavericks roster is, you definitely go better in the sense that now you can do things, you can be competitive in the West. If AD stays fit, and you still have Klay Thompson, if you get 50% of Klay Thompson, that's the plus already on its own. So, but now, if you look at it from the viewpoint of the fans, Luka is special to them. How do you convince them? I know fans are very fickle. Once you start winning games, they will move on. But initially, how do you convince them that this is going to work?
You're not going to be able to convince them. You have to win. You have to, at least in the next 3 years. If you don't win an NBA title in the next 3 years, they'll probably sack everyone involved in the front office, because that's the only justification for whatever you're doing, because AD is 31. So it's not like AD is a young guy that is going to mature into something in the future or whatever. Clay is already 34. You know, Kyrie is 31.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your squad is 31, 32 and above. Maybe Gafford and Lively is a rookie, right? Lively is 23 or 24. But most of your squad, you have guys 31 and above. So you are in a win now mode. The only way you're not going to convince the fans that you did the right thing, because the squad is literally built around Luka. The whole conversation around the Mavs were dead in the water. Luka came, revived them, and he won scoring title last year, like took them to the final last. So you cannot go to convince the fans until you win. The only way you convince the fans is you go ahead and win. You can't get to the final, it's not even enough, because Luka took them to the finals. The only way is you win a title, because they have just won. So if you win a title, okay, we've won our second title, it's probably worth it. Even though you probably need to win more, because a natural Mavs fan, in their thinking, with Luka on the squad, they were thinking that they will get at least 2 titles from Luka, at least, based on what he has done from beginning of his career, get to the conference final, get to the NBA finals. In their mind, he's building up his resume to the level of, oh, eventually he will knock down the door, and then will also be a juggernaut or something, because Luka is that guy. So there's no way you can convince them until you win. Yes, I agree with you that in terms of the setup, their team actually in the short term got better. It's just that we are also mistaken and forgetting about the other intangibles of how teams defend Luka. Defending Luka creates space for a whole lot of people in terms of Clay, PJ getting open shots, in terms of Kyrie getting one-on-one opportunity. Yes, AD in the paint is also going to attract 2 people to him when you dump the ball to him and let him go to work and stuff like that. So there's a mix and match of what you are going to get.
Because the last time we saw AD, the last time we saw AD for the Lakers, he scored 46 points and he had 23 rebounds.
AD when he wants to, and I think for a team like the Mavs and with Jason Kidd as the coach, Jason Kidd was also on the staff in 2020 when they won the championship with the Lakers. AD, he has already said it that he doesn't want to play the 5. He's now getting an opportunity to play the 4, exactly how he wants. Meaning he doesn't get to bang bodies with the 5 or tire himself out, and he's fresh and he can, AD, you can bank AD for 26 and 10 and 2 blocks. So in terms of production, you probably are going to continue to get some extra things, but people like Kyrie will probably need to step up their creativity, because the assist has to come from somewhere.
But to be honest, I still believe that Kyrie has it. He has the ability to drop 40 on a playoff night. LMJ, as the fan of the Lakers, I know that it's early. It's about stardom for the Lakers. Nothing concerns the Lakers with we are building for tomorrow. We want to win now. Because all the conversation we had throughout last week was, by the time the Lakers call any team to say, oh, we need a center, the asking price is always high. And if we're being honest, you guys have been quite good lately, winning games, a very good winning record, and it feels like, oh, maybe there's something here. The Lakers can really tap into something and make noise in the West. All of a sudden, the Lakers are like, nah, LeBron is 40. Whether he's going to retire this season, next season, we don't know. We're going to, if we can keep Luka for the next 10 years, it's LA, baby. We sell tickets. As a Lakers fan, you see it as an opportunity of, okay, we had an opportunity to compete now, and we missed it. Because with that roster, I know Luka is a walking scoring machine, but LeBron is 40, your center is Jackson Hayes, and Luka doesn't play defense. If you score 120, your opponent might score 135 or 140. So now, as a Lakers fan, do you see it as, oh yeah, we made a good decision by competing, by having a star for the future? Eventually, when LeBron calls it quits, we won't be left hanging. We have somebody that we know that, yes, we sell tickets, be the face of the NBA. Or would you have liked to have seen the team compete now?
I think it's still everybody's. I think Lakers fan.
This
your audio is low, LMJ.
It's not even low. That's vibration. Yeah.
I think the stuff is overshadowing his voice.
Yes, that's the problem. It's not like his voice is low, but that is so loud.
I think the stuff is overshadowing his voice.
We can't really pick anything from what he's saying, and I'm sure it will pass across to the.
Okay. I think it should be better now. Let me just use my.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah,
Yeah,
way better.
I think it's no shocker or it's no news that whatever transpired in the trade was kind of uh, something that knocked everybody off their foot. And I really don't understand the logic behind it, at least from the Lakers side, because we all know that as good of a shooter and a scoring machine that Doncic is not it defending. And we had one of the best, if not the best, defensive player. And I felt like we were right on track. Though we had bumpy, like we've had our ebbs and flows during the season. But I felt like in the last 7 games, we've won and we've won a championship team fashion. So I felt like this trade puts a lot of comma, but we know how crazy the NBA is. The trade deadline is on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And I feel like trading a center that can compete between now and Thursday can actually change the dynamism of everything we are seeing right now. Though we are limited on round picks, on first round picks to trade at this time. But I feel like as silly as it might sound, Slavic players just need a little bit of motivation. So a very good example is the Joker. As unserious as the Joker is very unplayable in his own day. So I think we might just need a sort of motivation for Doncic to tilt tilt his game towards improving his defense. Because I kid you not, this team is going to struggle. We are going to struggle defensively, we are going to struggle on rebounds, we are going to struggle on a lot of fronts that would actually win you the championship. And I feel like Lakers will always be the Lakers. Lakers will always be a franchise that is more like a brand. And the front office would prioritize that over the short time fix because, as we've seen, the short time fix has not really worked. If I'm within the last 3-4 years, has not really beared much of a fruit. Planes, finishing in the planes, I think 2 seasons in a row. Was it 2022? We didn't even make playoffs at all. So I feel like they are starting to re-strategize and look like, okay, let's look towards the future and see what we can build for the future. Because as heartbreaking as this can be, it's something that I feel like can bear fruit in the next 3 to 4 years. It sounds silly, but it can bear fruit in the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, so I agree with LMJ because that was something that came to my mind because he was supposed to sign a $345 million dollar extension in the summer. Now he's not eligible for that supermax again because they traded him. So that, and I'm sure in his mind, he also probably felt like the way we also felt that there's no way he was going to be traded. So I'm sure generally some of the conversation they probably had with him, some of the information, some of the science, doctors they probably shared with him.
But when Harrison called him, he didn't pick. He didn't pick.
Do you understand? So, he probably felt like, there's no way they are going to trade me. So now that he has gotten a wake-up call that NBA is a business, so if they feel like we can't afford to pay you $340 million because the Lakers will not be giving him $340 because he's no longer eligible for the supermax. They will move on. So I think his approach in LA in the Lakers can't like something as shocking as this, because I'm sure it's going to be shocking for him too. Will probably change his approach to things, and then luckily for him, he's going to play with LeBron. Let's say LeBron plays one more year. We don't know what LeBron is planning to do. LeBron is known for spending millions on his body, take care of himself, nutrition, health, stuff like that. So if there's any possibility for him, if there's any chance for him to actually, get to the person that will now be, be in shape as well, he's in the right place to learn from someone who probably has all the resources, facilities, contacts that can help him do stuff like that. So I feel like there's a positive that can come out of it for the Lakers. Yes, this season might not be, because the way the roster is constructed to maximize LeBron and AD, because you have LeBron and AD. But now that you have LeBron and Joker, two of people that need the ball in their hands, and Austin Reeves who need the ball in their hands. You are just guard heavy. You don't have any center because you traded what's the name of the guy? AD, and I think Mas Christie that plays center sometimes. You traded him. So, and there are very few centers that are available in the market. So this season might be, you might not, maybe we never can tell. Luka can come in, anger, start scoring 40 points per game and leading the Lakers, dragging Lakers to the playoffs and stuff like that. So, but generally, I feel like this is probably not going to be the best, but going into the summer, they probably have a better plan of how to arrange the squad around Luka for the future.
Quickly, let me just mention something about Nick Harrison, the GM, calling Luka not picking because obviously Luka is frustrated and surprised to have been traded. And around the league among the players, if you on NBA Twitter this morning, it was just a case of, oh my God, if Luka can be traded, you can be traded. If you don't have any no trade clause in your contract, just get ready. Anything can happen at any freaking time. So it now begs the question of when players hit free agency where they have the opportunity, for example, when Kevin Durant and LeBron decided, Kevin Durant is going to join the Golden State Warriors, LeBron joined the Miami Heat back in 2010 or thereabouts. So on 2010, and fans get angry, say, players don't show loyalty, blah, 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 what have you. Now, it's a business, like Bullish mentioned. The team can wake up tomorrow morning and be like, 345, I'm not really sure, man. At some point, we might need to, maybe we should just move you on. It's a business for us. When the team does it, it's called business. When a player does it and demands a trade, for example, Jimmy Butler saying, pay me or trade me. And it's like, oh my God, he's not loyal, blah, 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 and all those things. When do the players need to realize that you also need to start putting yourself first?
I think the players are starting to realize that now, because one of the things with NBA in particular as a sport is, as you said, the whole today we are a sport that transcends the culture of basically the culture of America or the culture of the worldwide, celebrities coming, etc. That's when they want to sell what do you call togetherness for the players to stay there for the fans. But when they want to trade you, it's 9 to 5. We come in, we need you, we don't need you anymore. You move on, and that's how it is. And to an extent, I think, particularly with American sports, given the amount of power that clubs and franchises still have above players, like it's harder to revolt against franchises in baseball, in NFL, and football. So which is why I'm sure players now probably wake up to this news and be like, as you said, like if Dončić can be traded, who can be? I'm sure they'll be like, let me talk to my agent and see, let us see what clauses can be put somewhere, because the players knew they were disposable before, but I think there was still a sense of players recognizing that they were indispensable up until this trade happened. So now it's no longer disposable, indispensable. It doesn't matter if the club just decide that you're not taking 346. You are going to go and collect this in Lakers. Manage that one. That you don't have 346 to pay you. That's it. And I feel like we're at a critical head point now where players will start realizing that. And I wonder the kind of domino effect this will have in particular.
To be honest, I'm still in shock, but I'm sure at some point I'll move past it. LMJ, before I saw a particular post that before, was it 2022 or 2023 or 2021? Which is that this Sonya's record was practically unmatched. You get, like, he was the bad man, he was the boogeyman, he was the man that he was Baba Yaga, the man that you saw in your nightmares, and you're like, oh my God, the fights I'm having against this guy tomorrow is going to be a different ball game. But in his last 9 fights, he has lost 4. Actually, he has lost 5. Sorry, he has lost 5 of his last 9. Now, are we getting to that point whereby the eye of the tiger is not there anymore? There's money in the bank. Why am I don't really need to do this? Or, like they say, age catches up with everybody, lose that step.
Yeah, I think it's more, you hit the nail on the head. It's more about the motivation. It's more about the hunger. It's more about the drive. Immediately after I bought Sean Strickland, I was telling a friend that Easy has lost it. The exact moment he was able to score one win against Alex Pereira, I felt like he got to that climax of his career. Whatever happened to Easy after yesterday night does not in any way or form affect his legacy as a mixed martial artist. Easy is one of the greatest in the welterweight division. There's no argument about that. But I felt like this is one of the beautiful things about this sport, and the reason why fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov would hold a very huge place in my heart, because knowing when to quit in a sport like MMA is very important. Look at someone like Anderson Silva. I grew up loving UFC because of Anderson Silva. But when they started beating Anderson Silva,
he collected some kind of beating towards the end.
Bro, I felt embarrassed on his behalf. So Easy is now in that phase of his career whereby look at this fight now. Imanov wasn't really controlling that bout. Easy had him in the first round. Easy was not hungry enough. Easy didn't have that hunger that we used to see in him. Like, the moment you test blood, it's just almost like a shark. Your issue with a shark is don't get injured at all. The moment a shark can smell blood, you are dead. So that was one of the traits that I saw in Easy early days, pre-COVID-19. Like, that was the Easy we understood. The moment he saw a weakness, he was giving him calf kicks. There were some calf kicks, there were some leg kicks. And at that point, I was like, Easy, just capitalize on this, destroy that his leg, and then go for blood. But Easy was kind of preservative. He was thinking like, oh, this is a 5-round fight. Let me preserve my energy. And I'm like, oh my God, you are going to lose this fight. And as fate will have it, I messaged my cousin immediately. I told you Easy was going to lose this fight. As underrated in the bookies, I think he had like, I think he had like 3 odds. So it almost looked like it was a sure win for Easy. But for someone that is another follower of the sport, to know that Easy did not have hunger. He no longer had that hunger. The drive that he had was the fact that Alex Pereira had faced him. Alex Pereira had been his nemesis, and he needed a win against him. The moment he had that in his mentally, he kind of switched off. You could see that hunger was no longer there. His fight against Nicholas Duplessis, the presser, he was climbing in pressers, and I'm like, oh my God. So you let another stand-up boy have one of ours. That came and went. Like it has gotten to the point where I just need him to retire. I need him to preserve that legacy, because there are actually some defeats you will suffer and people will begin to question you. That's the same thing that happened with Anderson Silva. And Anderson Silva looked obvious, like he needed the money, and that was why it was that long. Look at Khabib. Khabib is doing well for himself. He's now carving out another legacy by being the Dagestani leader, creating another, like, Easy has a very successful YouTube channel. He can start analysis. UFC can even employ him. Sorry to say this about Miami, but I think it's time for Easy to call it a day.
Akin is going in and out. I don't know if he's still celebrating.
I am here. Mo and
Please, mute your mic.
I'm talking.
Mute this guy if it's not on video. If it's not on video, we don't want him to speak. Please mute your mic. And I actually get response for you, but I want to make you show face. I want you to show your face first. You can't be talking in the shadow. You can't be talking in the shadow and darkness. Please, we are children of light. We are children of love and light here.
This is my light. This is it here. What do you mean? Are you okay?
This is what winning 5-1 gets you.
You are the only one that believes in me. Oh, believe. May God bless you. Oh, Niku. You will die.
We still believe. We'll be here in me.
You know what can be the crime? Actually, you know what can be the crime?
Some people say
You know
they have
what can be the crime? Life or death. Actually, you know what can be the crime?
Some people say they have Lami Yama. We have two. They are mad.
You have two
what
what?
are they saying?
You have two what?
Two alien boys, me. What do you mean? I'm not there anything, bro.
I beg, postpone your matter, postpone now.
Don't postpone it. Come outside. You're not serious. Oh, this week. Next week I'll call for you.
You know the sweet thing about this conversation. There's timestamp and evidence. You know, the time that is supposed to the time that is supposed to win 5-1 and win league last season. You know, sit down and win. This is the way. Wait. This is where we say league. You no get hope. Now you got the win 5.
You're not serious. What are you telling me? A second larger one now. The league second.
Second, you know, let my end this. Second, you know, let my end this.
But quickly, let me just like what's it called? Speak to what was saying about Israel Adesanya. I don't think he's done yet. To be honest, that's a mistake people make. When you look at his fight recently, the manner in which he has lost, I feel there's this iota of, you know what, I can still win a round. I can win a round, and if you win one round, you can win 2, you can win 2, you can win 3. So he's just taking his time, and it just happens that he gets caught at a very bad timing, and that's it. And there was a little bit of a controversy with that fight yesterday. Like before he got knocked out was just, I mean, we're talking about 3 seconds when his eyes was poked, and he didn't even take the time out.
He pushed. I think you're not a stranger to MMA. He pushed the ref away himself. He pushed. Easy pushed the ref away himself. So I don't think there's a question about that early stop. Am I the one who is the one is it?
Akin is freezing.
Wait. I didn't hear the last point. If you said anything, I didn't hear anything, please.
I said, Easy pushed the ref away himself. He shoved the ref away himself. So
yeah, that's what I said. I said that is his only mistake he made in that fight. To be honest, because even Dana White
he made multiple mistakes. He made multiple mistakes.
What do you mean? I'm trying to answer.
I said
we all know
he made multiple mistakes.
Easy shoved the ref away, and they'll tell anybody at any point in time that you are poked, forget it. You are supposed to actually call a timeout. It's your right. He didn't do it. And
it's your right, but you might not exercise it. You can decide not to exercise it. Like it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it is safe in the moment. It is safe for you to exercise something like that. You can't be forming Van Damme. You are not Alex. What's it called? That was hit in the balls and he decided to go on. You're not that strong. If you're poked, you need to just call a timeout and just relax and recover. I mean, I feel like that's his only mistake. His own mistake. I didn't say it was any ref's mistake or whatsoever. It's his own mistake. So that's the only thing I just see. But I still feel like he has about 1 or 2 fights in him, and it's the reason why Dana White didn't even speak. He didn't speak. It's easy for Dana White to say, you know what, a fighter is done, and he says it in the most diplomatic manner. But yesterday in the post-fight conference, he did say the guy was done. In fact, if there's anything he said the first round looked so good, it was smooth, and then the knockout. But because they know just how much is important to the UFC as of right now, there is nobody that's going to do that numbers. And he also has this belief that, you know what, he can still win a fight in that. And as long as you can hold on to that belief. It was the same thing with Anderson Silva now. Until Anderson Silva caught on almost 40, he was still saying, you know what, I still have a fight in me. I still have that win in me. He continues. So everyone should stop with this. Oh, he's done. I don't believe he's done. And I'm not being sentimental here.
Yeah.
There's just so
Aki, you are thinking, I'm going to give you 2 points now. You are thinking it's not done because of a particular bias you have towards him. I love Easy, but I can look at this objectively. You can look at it, when you're looking at it from Dana White's point of view. Dana White is a businessman.
Of course.
Dana White will not tell a fighter when he's done, except except when Dana White. Wait
he has done it with Ferguson. He has done it with a lot of fighters. Okay.
Wait. Dana White will only tell you are done if you are at odds with him. For example, Bryce Mitchell. Now, Dana White can decide that Bryce Mitchell is done. Why? Because
of the
Baba publicly yes, he publicly went on his podcast and was glorifying Adolf Hitler. Like that is something that can tarnish
it
the
has
brand.
nothing to do with fight. We are talking about fight related.
It has nothing to do with fight.
Yes.
But when it comes to making a decision, if you are done, it's left to the fighter. You get when the franchise can still make you, when the franchise can still make pay-per-view from you. Trust me, Easy was just fight night. And look at the numbers they made from just this fight night. So if you are a business owner and you can still replicate that with Easy, what will you say? Would you say it is done?
No. See. I think one thing I need to stress that you're also not paying attention to is the fact I said something. I don't disagree with you that Dana White is not looking at it from the business perspective. That you know what, this guy still gathers the crowd and all that. All I'm saying is that if a fighter tells you that you know what, I still have a win in me. Allow the guy to fight. People should just stop all of these things. I feel like it's becoming a great disrespect if you are saying he's done. Someone is telling you that he's not done. I feel like leave him alone. And I believe that it's not a case of me being biased or anything. It's just a case of like
wait.
Okay. He was listen. He was eating some shots yesterday that I believe were. Well,
in the top five rankings now, who do you think Easy can beat objectively?
Who can beat again? I mean, bro, only not Strickland now. He can beat Strickland. What are you saying? No. Really. See, he can beat Strickland now. What are we saying? So he can beat Strickland if they fight Strickland again. What I want is that, let me tell you something. What I want is that he needs to renegotiate his contract, and he needs to stop taking 5-round fights and just go to a 3-round fight. That's just it.
To fight a 3-round fight, you are contradicting yourself. To fight a 3-round fight, one, you would not headline. If you are fighting a 3-round fight, you are not headlining the card.
Yeah.
Two,
I know what I'm talking about. Listen, if you allow me, I would have explained what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is this: you can renegotiate your contract such that you know what, you are not the big dog anymore. You don't have the belt. Like the way he said he wants to go back to his humble beginnings and just take it. He's not going for the belt. If you're saying that in that manner, you should also walk the walk and act just put some action to it. Why not just, renegotiate your contract and say, I want to go for like 3-round fight, because let's be honest with ourselves, his cardio is no longer there. He can't go for 5 rounds at this point in time anymore. Let him go for 3-round fight and see and just build from there. It's as simple as that, because he's just gonna endanger himself as a fighter for so long, and he's gonna turn the likes of what's his name, Ferguson, whereby he's been battered. He doesn't even know. He can't recognize his family anymore. He has lost so much that he doesn't recognize anybody.
It's people like you. It's people like you that will turn this to Ferguson. People like you.
He just be like say. He just be like say. He tell person say, "Oh, me no repair, me no work again." Yeah, that's his life now, bro.
I feel like okay. I think he has gotten them. Aki, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Baba.
I feel like you saying that he brings in the numbers and then telling him to start renegotiate his contract to become a 3-round fighter, become an undercard, doesn't tally. Do you understand? You can't bring in the numbers and suddenly say, can you put me as an undercard? It doesn't.
It contradicts now. Like those two statements are contradictory.
I know he contradicts. I don't dispute that fact. All I'm saying is that at this point in time, you're no longer like the big dog anymore in that division. Like you say, like it's just more like maybe age is catching up and there are much young fighters, and you have the likes of Driscoll and what's his name in that division, and everybody is actually very good at this point now. But there has to be do something that works for you. That's all I'm saying. It's not a case of bias. You are you're an important fighter such that you can actually determine the terms and agreements of your new contract. That's just it.
Yes, but I don't believe that somebody with that level of success in the past and that ego will suddenly tell himself that, you know what, yeah, let's go on that card because I'm trying to, knowing fully well that you have the ability to bring in those numbers. I don't want us to spend too much time on the UFC because we've already spent a lot on it. Kule, when Pep Guardiola went on this run after that first season with Man City, it kind of felt like the king is here, everybody bow down. And lo and behold, they did bow down. Whether you wanted to do it willingly or not, you had to bow to the king with Man City and Pep. Now, they're in a situation whereby, because Polish asked me a particular question yesterday where he said, the Champions League draws, Man City are playing Madrid, who am I going to choose? And I'm like, maybe the Man City of good, I won't even think about it. Because even if Real Madrid are going to win, they probably have to beg God to win, like we saw last season. Now, it's looking like all you need to do is just show up with a bit of game plan, especially if Man City are away from home. And not only would you actually defeat them, you might have fun doing it, like we saw Arsenal did today, we saw PSG did 2 weeks ago. And now you're asking yourself, is it a case of law of diminishing return? Have they gotten to that point whereby, okay, they've peaked and there isn't really any more that you can do? Or is it a case of, because when you look at the squad of the players, especially the age in the middle of the pack, most of those players are in their 30s. Gundogan, De Bruyne, and the likes, they're in their 30s. You still need to look at it and say, yes, now we actually need to do a rebuild whereby, or we need to, if it might not be a rebuild, we might need to refresh the team. Because today's results it wasn't telling. At some point in the first half, even not for Kai Havertz, Arsenal could probably be leading 3-0.
Yeah, it was very basically Arsenal literally cleaned house, and as you said, it could have been even worse. But I think like a lot of time, people are mentioning that the problem with Man City might be maybe mentality. So Guardiola have left at the end of the season, and yet every game the problem with Man City is obvious. Their midfield is not athletic enough to play 90 minutes anymore. Because it was obvious against PSG, by like the moment PSG refreshed their midfield, when Bakula started dropping deep, when Desiree started dropping deep, Messi had no answer. Messi had no answer. It was the same thing against Spurs, the same thing against Brighton. I think Messi's problem is very, very simple yet obvious, which is why you can't really do things like, okay, like let's gear ourselves up for this game. It can't really work. It can't really work anymore. And as you mentioned, that squad it's not the fact that the squad is getting old, especially in midfield. It's the fact that technically the only real sign they've made in midfield, aside Kovacic, the only real sign they've made in midfield is 2017 has been Rodri. And you cannot build a squad that way because even City know that squad building failed. There's a reason why last season they wanted Declan Rice, they didn't get Declan Rice. There's a reason why this season they wanted Joao Neves before he went to PSG. City's problem is incredibly telling. The only thing now is that aside from that November December period, City have kind of found a new kind of confidence again. So the thing is they will beat smaller teams. They'll probably finish fourth or third or something. But that squad has a ceiling now. They can't really do anything else. Frankly, I thought it would have been better for them if they had gone out of the Champions League last week because they're not going to get anywhere against Real Madrid unless they do something dramatic in transfer window between now and tomorrow night. The problem is not that the mentality is going to head that, or is that squad has been badly developed, which to an extent for Guardiola and the massive hierarchy is a complete disappointment.
Because I know that you mentioned, because it was surprising to me. I know Mamouche has been on fire in Bundesliga. Like last season it was good. This season he has been better. Like 19 goals, 11 assists in all competitions for Frankfurt. It looked like a summer signing for everyone was expecting the fact that okay, maybe Liverpool use Mamouche to replace Salah during the off season. Then City stole a match on every other person, and boom, they picked up Mamouche. Good deal. But deep down, when you look at it, for 80 million euros, 70 million euros, that money could have been spent on a midfielder. I know you are still expecting Rodri to come back next season and stuff, but regardless of whether Rodri comes back or not, Kunle, you have another player that can play, whether it's alongside or replaces him, so he doesn't have to play the 50 something odd games. Because let's face it, Rodri plays a large number of games. At the end of the 2022-2023 season, he had a conversation with Pep Guardiola that he couldn't, like, the number of games he played was too much. Guess what? Last season, when they before the Euros and stuff, Rodri repeated the same thing again. So that injury was something that was coming at some point. Yes, you can give Guardiola credit for not playing him the first few games of the season. We saw how he tried to manage him and bring him in, but eventually he still got unlucky and he got injured in that Arsenal game. Now, why didn't City decide, oh, a midfielder is more important than another forward?
I think one of this thinking regarding City is that, especially given the signings that they made, they've signed Mamouche in attack and they've signed two other defenders, Kusano, Rice, who are basically coming to the team already immediately. I think one of the things they want to do is that, okay, for the moment now, while we figure out what to do with and without Rodri, what if we like pack both other ends of the squad, try and see if we can compress the pitch where we play, and it doesn't really work. I think and also the other thing is that, to an extent, in terms of runs, in terms of energy in towards part of the attack, and in terms of goals, City never really replaced Alvarez in the summer. And if you check the goal stats up until this month, aside Haaland, the highest second highest goal scorer was Vardy. And that was because Vardy is always in attack and is always scoring a blunders, and it was not a sustainable game plan. And the problem, as in, like we mentioned, City's midfield is too old. I think to an extent, up until Mamouche coming in, you can see their attack too was too young, because there are two primary wingers now, Savinho and Doku. Doku is 22, and Doku is hardly ever fit. And if you watch Savinho, there are so many decisions he makes that you can tell that, okay, this guy is 20. So I think to an extent I understand that, and also they wanted a replacement of Alvarez one way or another, and I think they realized that if you get to the summer, you're probably getting into a bidding war for people who want to get Mamouche. So I just wonder what they will do between now and tomorrow, because there are rumors of Nico Gonzalez. There's Ederson that said no. Samuel Ricci said no. Angelo still also said no. So there's Nico that as maybe something might happen. The team knows cannot sustain any kind of movement in midfield with their players now. So if then that is a big problem. Maybe they want to go back to using John Stones the way they did 2 seasons ago, but that midfield definitely lacks souls. But that doesn't also nullify.
I think we're losing Kunle and his network.
Kunle is skipping.
Can you hear me?
His audio is, I think his audio is skipping.
I don't understand why we are not paying attention to the effects of mental.
It's Daniel.
Wait. We are not paying attention to the effect of mental abuse on performance of athletes and professionals in the sports industry. If someone has gone through some form of abuse, emotional displacement, mental torture, it can affect how effective they are in their line of duty and their place of occupation. These people are also humans like us, who can be affected by the different things that affect humans generally. As much as we want to talk about the lack of midfielders and the presence of attackers, I think there's a lack of motivation in the way the players are playing. before we talk about all those other things, why I feel like there's a lack of motivation. I was watching the game today, and there was a particular possession that Matthias Nunes is not even supposed to be playing at the right back in the first place. And I feel like if Guardiola is not going through a divorce, he probably will not be playing Matthias Nunes as a right back. Sure you get. Now, Matthias Nunes playing as a right back, lost the ball, and he was literally just jogging back after losing the ball when Arsenal were on the front foot. I feel like
I'm sorry.
Hello. Please let me finish my point.
Let's not do this.
Let's not do what? I'm trying to make a point. Let me finish my point now. Let me finish my point.
I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to allow you to like.
You're not going to allow me to do what? To finish my point?
You're going to make us.
You're not going to allow me to talk. You're not going to allow me to talk. No. You have to allow me to finish my point now. I'm trying to finish my point.
You won't finish your point.
Why would I finish my point? Why would I finish my point? I have to be allowed to. It's your opinion now. You guys went on a 10 minutes UFC. No, let me land my point. My point is a very simple point, and I want. Why would I land it? Why would I land? I have to land the point. And the point is very simple. The point is very simple. Other than the unavailability of midfielders and the aging of the players and the obvious lack of talent, I feel like they still have enough talent where if they were playing with a lot of motivation, they probably would be able to. They don't even need to win Arsenal. Even if they lose to Arsenal, the way they played was embarrassing. No. So I feel like there's a lack of motivation from the manager that is seeping to the players, and that lack of motivation
is the fact that you wait.
That lack of motivation. Let me land you, Aki. You will not stop me from finishing my point. You will not, except you are not going to have any conversation today again. I have to finish my point. Let me finish my point before you say I am dishonest now.
By saying all these things that are not true.
You cannot tell me not to. You cannot tell me not to finish my point and tell me that I'm dishonest. How do you know if I'm dishonest if I've not finished my point?
You finish your point. You
have not allowed me finish. No, you have not allowed me finish my point. No, you have not allowed me finish my point. You have to allow me finish my point.
I swear, we won't finish this podcast.
No problem now, but I have to finish my point. And my point is very simple, very clear. That if your manager is not motivated, the way we prepare the squad, the way the squad. What do you mean by What? I'm trying to make a point. I don't understand what's the problem. Why can't I make that point? I don't understand.
Element just stop.
No, I can't. It's a very good point I'm making.
I can let him make
the one mistake he made, the one mistake Bolish made now, and he tried to.
Okay, what mistake did I make? What mistake did I make?
If not that Guardiola is going through the divorce, I see. To all our viewers out there, I'm not saying I'm against mental health or whatsoever, but it's to the point that.
But you're not saying you're against mental health, but we can say it.
Estimate Arsenal's win by saying, "Oh,
who is talking? We are not talking about Arsenal's win. Arsenal's. We are talking about."
Let me call what you said. Let me call what you said and say to you. He said, if not that he's going through what he's going through, he wouldn't have used Nunes at left back or right back. And I'm like, is it today that Guardiola has started experimenting with players at different roles? What are you saying?
So will you let me finish my point?
Your point is still valid.
See, we are talking. You are so emotional and so excited because you guys won 5-1 today. Your 5-1 is going, in the grand scheme of things, is going to be materialistic. It's going to amount to nothing. You're not going to use it to do anything because. No, that's not my point. But I'm going to bring it because the only reason why you're attacking me now is because you think I'm attacking.
You can't even make a logical.
I was going to make.
Also emotional.
I'm not the one cutting someone off. I'm not the one cutting someone off.
You're very funny.
I'm not the one cutting anybody off. You are the one cutting me off.
You're not serious.
You are the one cutting me off.
I hope you enjoy my dance better than the rubbish.
How will you bring the yet you are calling me the emotional one?
You are the one cutting me off now. I'm not cutting you off. I allow you speak.
We want fair and square.
The problem. Why are you connecting our conversation with Arsenal?
Akin, wait. Akin, hold on. He's not talking about Arsenal yet. Hold on.
Like, Man City have literally lost to everybody this season.
All I'm saying is that
Wait, Aki, calm down. Aki, calm down. Now, Aki, no, Aki, calm down. Aki, calm down. No, Aki, calm down. No. I'm not going to allow this rubbish because you are being excited because you guys have won today. And we're having a conversation generally. You are not the only guys that are beating Man City now. Why are you talking as if you are the first team to beat Man City? Man City have literally lost to everybody by 3 goals.
Hey, Bright, you go understand.
We are talking about Man City generally. What is going on with Man City?
Wait, you brought Guardiola's divorce and say is one of the reasons why he started.
But you are not because you are just listening from one prism. You are listening from one prism. We are not talking about Arsenal. We are talking about Man City and why they are having a poor season.
I'm talking about Man City too. You are not hearing me.
You are not talking about Man City. You are not. You are only concerned about Arsenal.
Do you want me to type it in the comments? I'm talking about.
I don't care. But you are being emotional. You guys have won, fine. But let us finish the point. No, we're having a conversation about Man City and why they're having a poor performance. And Kule went on and talked about their midfield and talked about why they spent that much money on wingers and defense. Meanwhile, they didn't spend on the midfield. And I'm saying, in line with the conversation we're having generally about Man City, one of the problems is if your manager is not the way they were playing, they did not play motivated. I'm not even talking about the squad, the talent. I gave just one example to make my opinion that Nunes lost the ball in the first half and he was literally jogging back. Man City, Guardiola's team generally are known for 9 seconds or less, meaning anytime they lose possession, immediately they swam around the ball to try to recover the ball. Meaning, generally, the work rate of most Guardiola team is always top notch because they are always trying to recover the ball immediately. That is absent from here. That's not a function of who they are playing or what is happening. That's just a function of currently the team is playing uninspired. And I'm saying, yes, it's a cheeky tone. And I'm saying, if a manager lacks motivation, and I'm adding the divorce as part of the reason why he lacks motivation. But obviously, you can disprove that that's not the reason why he lacks motivation. But I'm saying, if a manager lacks motivation, you can see it in the way the team plays. Whether you win or not, that's not the point. You people played fantastic football today. You had more chances to score in the first half. You should have punished them by more goals. That's not the point. We're saying, generally, Man City have just played uninspired football. They literally, in the Champions League, won the last game of the Champions League to qualify. So that's the conversation we're having. I don't know why you are being excited because you guys won today.
That was a great one, but I'm very sure the two of you had valid points. The issue was the two of you were not listening to each other. So I guess we need therapy.
I was trying to finish my point. You don't get the point I just finished now. That's what I was trying to land. But because he was super excited about Arsenal, he was interrupting me.
Bonnie, we get your point. Your point is one of the reasons why Man City is fluctuating away is because they don't have motivation enough, which is stemming from their manager. And Akin's point was like trying to tell you that is not enough excuse. And I think Akin was a little bit emotional. He was because he felt you are trying to rob them away of their
Man City were leading. They were leading 2-0 to PSG and lost by 4-2. So what are we talking about?
We've seen the pattern. We've seen the pattern already. We've seen the pattern.
Tottenham that loses to everybody beat Man City 4-0. Tottenham that loses to everybody, they beat Man City 4-0 at home. This is among this recently.
F1. Can we talk about the F1, please? Can we talk about Formula 1, please?
Akin, no. Before we go, Akin, please, you have the floor.
All I'm saying is this: like when you started your point, see, at the end of the day, you made your point. Unmotivated, they are not motivated and stuff like that. At the beginning of your point was what I was trying to point out, so I don't forget. Like, you know what? Listen, this reaction is necessary.
You see, the same way you are saying listen now. If you try, see, as I cut you off, should I have pass point here across?
But
the same way you do. No. Later, we have to shout like this for 5 minutes before you allow me to pass my point. Okay,
But
Victor, I'm shouting
let
out.
me give
Okay, no, now, yes, I'll not let you pass your point. I'll not let you finish your point. I'll not let you finish your point. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference?
Let's move to the next topic.
Can you see the difference?
You want to be a judge?
At least
You are pointing back to the beginning of my point when you did not allow me finish the progression of what I was saying.
Let's stop the other topics now. Let's finish. Let's go to the other topics.
Okay, I can wait.
I want to talk about Guardiola. Let's talk about Guardiola. It's an important topic. As Man City is not doing well, let's talk about Guardiola. And I'll continue to cut you short. Any other person can have opinion. Move it down, Ruleni. Because I don't understand. I win 5-1. Igboron. What? Please, we don't bring that on here. You are still second, and you will not win the league. We are saying you should bet. We are saying you place a bet. Yes, we are saying you bet that you will not win league. You are running. Put your money where your mouth is. Let me use your money and eat suya and carry babies. You say no.
That's it.
Yes. Let them know. What is because you won 5-1 today. When last Arsenal win 5-1 in their life?
But all this because you won. You've not even listened to the point I'm trying to point out. That is not the point here.
Your point is invalid. I don't want to listen to me. I don't want to listen to your point. Your point is invalid. I will not listen to your point. Your point is invalid. I will not listen to your point. It is invalid. I will not listen to your point. It is invalid. It is invalid. I will not listen to your point. Your point is invalid. Okay, you think it's only you that can do it? No, you think it's only you. You're not the only one now. You're not the only one that can scatter someone's point making. No, you're not the only one. We both went to OU together. I just Shalutani.
Let's not pick.
Wait.
Better move on from the topic. If not, there's no point that will be made again. Let's just end the pod. Kakuku close.
But can I ask you a question about Arsenal?
Don't ask anything. Move on.
Okay.
Because people want to only one direction. Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
A bit of information to our viewers. The Emirates was supposed to join us last week when we streamed the Chiefs, but it's an elderly person, so it's left off. The Super Bowl stream will be happening next week Sunday. The beauty is that for all the drama that you have seen between Polish and Aki, the beauty now is that you get to see more because it's both of them. Aki is a Chiefs fan, Polish is an Eagles fan. So we're going up against each other. So in case you need more drama like this, we'll be dropping a link to our
There's no drama. I think for only be 21-0 in the first half.
What to show next week?
I will abuse the Lumba plane. I will abuse the Lumba plane. First half, as I do for wow, okay. Jelega as I for my own, let's say, I retire for the game. Uncle.
Just one request, moderator. Can you, when I eventually teach him a lesson, can you use this particular previous just an highlight? Thank you.
I was going to ask Elemeja about Formula One, but our time is fast spent because of you two. You guys will continue next week. So
yes, we have Aki and Polish to thank for this.
No, Izaki, you have to thank who? Izaki is solely responsible. I'm not. I'm following his lead. He's the serve to serve. Let me not return. This moderator gonna glow on low. Go low, draw so you can. Moderator go Rayewa.
Now moderator allow this argument dated this night. If you don't call this thing, I know they go on and off. If they go on and off, if you say they on when they begin this fight, but don't stop her.
Nah, Aki, just now about you while near on the throne by Aki will give up anything more.
You know the funny thing about this thing, though me I enjoyed the way Aki was tackling you, but you know the funny thing about today's match is the fact that what happened today is inconsequential to what will happen eventually at the end of the season. Like when you're talking about Biombo, Arsenal can play because after the 5-1, you will still not carry it. It will still not improve your condition. But I love Arsenal fans, yeah. They are. If you see the way they are all over the TL, all happy, and I'm like, guys, calm down.
Can you read my caption? Can you read my caption?
Oh, that's true. I didn't even see it until now. Winning at the wrong time.
read my caption. Last season, with that they were head to head with Man City, that they also win. Win. Now this is the way Liverpool for everybody learn and ginger. Of which they will still play Liverpool. Liverpool still chop their eye. Good day now. Now why this thing is sweet? We'll be here. On if you look
All right, guys. To all our listeners, that's all we have for you this week. Join us.
you know the funny thing, they are going to lose the next game against Newcastle.
Bullish,
Yeah.
we've had enough. Thank you very much.
Mulo, you can end the recording. Mulo will fixture one. They are going to lose against Newcastle. Forest, come out.